This particular moon is activating Cancer in your natal chart. So I want you to go on and check your birth chart and realize what house and what planets are in Cancer. If Cancer is in your 12th house, you're being asked to work with psychic protection. Go ahead and brew some lavender tea. Hold space for yourself and practice dream work. Ensure to have a journal next to you so you capture everything you dream, and I would call upload while this new moon is present. If you have Cancer in the 11th house, this is all about visioning, belonging, and collective dreams with your community. You are creating a soul deep connection. Your circles are shifting and trust is going with that. You are asked to take the witch's herb, which is lemon balm. This is a heart-centered herb that calms your nerves and allows you to protect your auric field and brings softness and allows your anxiety to subdue while in groups. For this ritual, we want you to write a wish for the kind of people you are ready to meet and speak out anyone who is in your vibe but doesn't belong in your vibe. Go ahead and do that ritual work. If you have Cancer in your 10th house, it's all about your purpose. It's all about what you do for work and converting that into sacred work, because we're not about, repeating and propagating, capitalistic mindsets. We're here about returning to sacred work, returning to being stewards of earth, and returning to our community, and all of that being intentional. So grab some bay leaf, write your intentions, and practice on legacy magic. Practice on the work you really find yourself in your community doing naturally, and start working towards that. I want you to write this vision, work on your altar until the full moon. The next full moon is going to be in Capricorn, so you will really be impacted and see a shift in your perspective. If you have a Cancer in the 9th house, this really means that you are creating something bigger. Your soul is being called to something bigger, is activating something ancient within you, and you are to nurture those explorations and curiosity, okay? Because you are ready to grow beyond what is currently being taught and returning to ancient ways, those that would leave ripple effects for many to enjoy. A plant, an herb that I say would work great for you would be rosemary, for its potentials to remember, all right, to allow sacred remembering to take place. So I want you to sit under a candlelight. I want you to journal. If I were raised only by the earth and stars, what would I believe? That's an awesome one. Have Cancer in the 8th house. Guess what? You are in the midst of sacred unraveling, understanding that the many full moons that have passed behind us led to changes, loss, and endings. But it's all alchemy. So here's what you're gonna do. All right, I want you to reclaim your power during this new moon, and you're gonna work with warm wood, a cord cutting herb that represents inner sovereignty, and I want you to stop leaking the energy to the past and prepare to be in your future, the one you love and desire the most. You can take a bath with salt and wormwood and add a little bit of lavender. Call your power back from every place you left it. If you have Cancer in your 7th house, like moi, baby, we are working to revisit the way we are nurturing loves, how we're nurtured in love, understanding that people are always mirrors to us, and they also reflect our boundaries. So what does that mean? The moon is pulling you closer to your reflection in others. This allows you time to realize where you overgiving and where you've hardened. The herb that we are being called to use is rose, which is heart medicine. Heart medicine. This is really good for your lungs, even when you're drinking it. and it's great for your body as well because it has a lot of vitamin C, and it gives you this very luxurious feel, and it strengthens the power of self-love within you. So it's going to help alchemize any grief and really strengthen sacred love, unconditional love, and return trust. A ritual is that we're going to write a vow to ourselves about how we want to be treated and read it every time we feel like we're bending for approval. Every single time. If Cancer's in your sixth house, it's all about revisiting the ways you devote to yourself. How do you nurture your body, and how do you follow sacred discipline, okay? It's asking you to revisit all of your rituals about loving yourself back. The moon is asking you to live in rhythm. Live in rhythm with your needs and live in rhythm with your to-do list. Don't go crazy on that to-do list. A herb that works for this, which is my ultimate favorite, is called ortiga in Spanish, nettle in English, and in magic, it is a very powerful herb as well as medicinal. Nettle. For stamina, it's great for stamina, it's great for nourishment, and it's good for long-term vitality. This is why I add it to all of my tea blends when I work on some. Nettle. Get you some. The ritual is light a candle every morning, and before doing anything, ask your body what it needs, and then give it one small act of devotion. Cancer is in your fifth house. It is asking you to be in your joyful child and happy energy. It wants you to cultivate it, and it wants to remind you that pleasure is your portal, creativity is your prayer. This is your time to stop shrinking what you bring to life or what brings you to life. Herb of choice is going to be Damiana for unlocking joy, sensuality, and divine play. Draw for a ritual, draw, or be moving. Dance to your own beat and let yourself feel good just because you are allowed to. Nurture your joy and creativity, loves. If you have Cancer in the fourth house, this is all about returning to your ancestral practices and honoring those that came through you and what work do they have to give you next. They're asking you to work with mugwort for ancestral connection and dream channeling. Drink some of this tea and also leave some on the altar. It's asking you to light a candle for those who came before you and ask what cycles ends with me and what blessings begin with me.